Welcome in everyone. This video will be the first installment of my new 2025 Valkyrie guides. In this video, we'll go over all 10 of the PVE modes. Keep in mind, as a new player, you will not have access to some of these, specifically Heroic Wanderer, until you level up a bit. Let's start with main quests. As of May 2025, there are 40 chapters in the main quest line. I am not aware of when future content will come, but it's planned at some point. For each stage on the campaign map, there will be 3-star criteria that you'll have to get. Most of the time, this just involves not having any heroes die, clearing it within a certain time limit, things like that. There may be some unique star requirements like using a certain race, but keep in mind, you do not have to earn all 3 stars in one run. You can run it back and get a missing star. On these booklet pages, you'll get little pieces of the story and little diamond income. As you collect the stars on each chapter, you'll get bonus diamonds from the boxes below. Once cleared, there isn't very much reason to revisit a chapter other than farming orb shards. Story chapters is your primary way of getting core shards. And as you collect orb shards, you will be able to craft orbs for your heroes and level up their grade. Grade starts at gray and goes all the way to yellow, or as I refer, gold. I think most of the game calls yellow gold anyway. The most notable thing about the grade is that your grade determines how many pieces of equipment and accessories you can equip at any time. So at gray, you're only able to equip 1 piece of equipment and 1 accessory, and that increases as you go up. And so by the time you're a purple grade, you can use all of your equipment and accessory slots for that character. That's about as simple as main quests are, so I'll leave it at that. Let's move on to hero and artifact quests. HeroQuests is where you will farm souls for your hero for their promotion. Each hero quest has 3 stages, 3 booklets, and 3 rewards as you clear them. Each hero's hero quests grant 330 diamonds to the account in total. So every new hero is 330 diamonds. All 3 of the stages will grant you gold wings. Now you'll see the little symbol on the 3rd stage. That's because the 3rd stage is the only one that drops their souls. Every day you have 9 chances to run each, and after that, you can spend quick tickets. So now it switches to quick tickets and you can use as many as you want. And remember, you can click the X to make it go faster. Any additional souls that are not used for promoting can be sold at the soul trader. When you have spare souls and visit the soul trader, it'll prompt you to sell them. This currency is otherwise not used, so feel free to buy this purchase once per day, and you can buy the rainbow fruit if you're not at cap. Unfortunately, the SP and SPX gear that are available in this shop are normally not good anymore. They were very dated. None of this gear is going to be relevant to the meta. A 3-star hero will take 160 souls to promote to 6-star, 30 to get to 4-star, 50 to get to 5-star, and then 80 to get to 6-star. When promoting a unit from 5 to 6-star, you have to farm their affinity first. Affinity is the 4 hearts below the promote button here. Until they are filled, you cannot promote to 6-star. The best way to farm affinity is through connect battles, but we'll get to that. Moving on to artifact quests. This is where you will use the gold feathers that you got from hero quests. Each hero who has a red frame available can do artifact quests. Once you've graded your hero from purple to red frame, artifact quests become available. As a red 1 frame, you can only do the first stage, but as you promote through red grade and eventually gold grade, you can do the further artifact quests. Now, what are you getting from these artifact quests? You get blue, yellow, and red spheres. These are used in crafting artifacts. You can craft artifacts at the blacksmith. A hero's specific artifact is called a true power. The strongest way to spread your augments on a true power is focusing on 1 race at a time. That way you can amplify your damage to a certain race with that given artifact. Artifacts will have different openers and constant buffs, so be sure to check through these and see what you're actually equipping. The augment list shows you all available augments that you can roll. I will go more in depth on artifacts in a later date, but for now, understand that artifacts are very strong, and managing the augments on your artifacts will help you immensely in clearing content. Moving on to connect battles. There are 5 difficulties of connect battles. There will be completion bonuses as well for the first time you clear them. There are pretty significant diamond rewards available for the first clear. You will not spend a lot of time on the beginner battles, if any. These heroes are available through their battle. You can collect their soul. However, these elemental units have no passives and they serve almost no purpose in PvE or PvP, but they're pretty cute. For the rest of the difficulties, you will be farming them quite frequently because of their connection to the progenitor weapons. 9-star difficulty normal battles will offer a mine demon fossil, and this is used to unlock your Aeon Right weapons. As a new player, try to encounter these when you can, but if one of them proves to be too difficult, read through the tips and see if you're actually countering it enough. There are hero ranking stats available, although they are not quite reliable. Once again, I'll have more coverage on connect battles in the future, particularly the heinous difficulty ones, as they are closest to endgame and will require some builds. Now let's cover score attack. This is a very simple mode. Not all that much to it. There's a weekly schedule that changes which type of crystal you attack. Throughout the week, it's the 5 elements, and on the weekend, it's physical and magic type. For the most part, all you're trying to do is deal as much damage as possible, as quickly as possible. The crystals are male magic airborne beasts, and their elemental resistance will change depending on the crystal. You can only store 3 charges, which refreshes on a 6-hour cooldown. I would not recommend spending diamonds to ever recover these charges. Although skill crystals will wall earlier players, eventually you'll be rolling in them. So just stay at it, farm this daily. Depending on how many heroes with awakenings you get early, you may run into droughts of skill crystals, depending on how fast you can farm this. However, there are score attack events frequently. The score attack events allow you to convert stamina into the reward, so it's much easier to farm than just your 3 charges. But otherwise, that's about as simple as score attack is. The main point is getting the skill crystals for your awakenings. The sealed crystal shards is a currency used in the trader. The score attack trader will allow you to convert these shards into more skill crystals. This trader also has a few pieces of gear, none of which I would recommend purchasing at this point. However, you can buy your Frog Fighter Froggy souls. It's the only way to collect them. And feel free to buy any purple orb boxes along the way. Now it's time for Einherjar Expedition. These are your daily expeditions or dispatches. Very similar system found in many other games now. Here you will send out a party to go challenge the fight, and they will return on a timer. At which point, if you defeated the boss, you'll collect the featured rewards and be able to dispatch it again. The Mana Spring will drop orbs, mana, and some artifact materials for the beginner artifacts. The Skill Crystal Cave, another resource to farm your skill crystals. Supplement your score attack by having this dispatched all the time. The third is Artifact Null. These dispatches allow you to collect Black Dragon materials, which allows you to create cursed artifacts. Cursed artifacts are a unique artifact. They are still somewhat helpful in the meta. However, I have not used one in a long time. Now I just sell off my extra materials for mana. And finally, the newest expedition, the Concentrated Mana Spring. This will only be available once you hit level 150. This is now the most important expedition, as it gives you the concentrated mana, which allows you to level your heroes past 150. I've been going through and promoting all of my Omega heroes to 151 over time. I will be covering Heroic Wander in a separate video, as that's in-game content and not really appropriate for a beginner's guide. So let's jump to Arena. In Arena mode, there's your regular arena with your 5-man defense team, and there's Grand Arena that uses 15 heroes on 3 teams. As an early player, just try your best in Grand Arena while you're collecting heroes, and focus on Arena for the most part. While you're starting off, you'll be put into C3 and have to climb your way up. The best thing that you can do is be sure that on the weekly reset that this says League Up. Normally if you're in the top 100 or 200, depending on which league will determine the rank that you get promoted. But if you're in the top 100, you can expect a promotion on the week's reset. Once you're operating in a mid-game scenario, as long as you're maintaining League, you're doing fine. Once you hit endgame and climb to A, the best thing you can do is maintain A. Your Arena rank determines a daily income of diamonds, which is why it's so important. You see people with very high competition to stay in the top 5 at the reset time, so they get the 500 diamonds the next day. For a regular player, just shoot for top 100 or top 200A once you get to later game. Keep in mind these rewards also are available for Grand Arena. You'll get 2 sources of diamond income from your defenses daily. Other than that, that covers the basics. Understanding the Arena meta is a little bit different, but I'll be getting more content on that, covering it very soon. Now let's cover Tower of Toxicity. When this mode first came out, it was somewhat fun to progress, but due to the nature of the mode and the fact that you redeem the rewards for every floor underneath your max floor cleared, the goal now has become to clear the highest floor that you can once a week and redeem all the rewards from the other floors. The 2 starting points that I recommend now are floors 18 and 20. They're a good starting point as long as you have the knockdown requirement on your team. They're also easy carries that most in-game players are able to carry people through very easily now. Keep in mind, you do have to survive, so your team has to be built well enough to be able to survive a carry. Well, I forgot to mention why you even want to bother with this mode in the first place, and that's 2 resources: Marks of Supremacy, which pretty quickly become negligible, and Shining Stone, which you'll need as long as you need to level emblems. Marks of Supremacy are used in building your expertise pages of your heroes. I've done guides on these stats in the past, however, understanding them in the realm of Omegas is a little bit different now. The blue stats will counter each other just as the red stats will. Spatak increases your damage done and eats through enemy res. Res reduces damage taken. Knockdown is a stat that we need for Tower of Toxicity specifically, and it also eats through enemy G power in PvP. G power is a base increase to your status ailment resistance. However, keep in mind that Omega heroes now can only be CC'd by the race that counters them, which devalues G power. Back to the battle itself, this is typically 3-man content, but accounts are able to solo it once you're in game. Alright, let's see how a solo works now. During the battle, your action skills will be converted into knockdown damage to the down bar. Once the boss goes down, you're able to actually damage the actual health bar, and destroy the crystals. The bosses on the higher floors will proc an emblem barrier and will be immune to damage until you use so many emblem procs on the enemy. So keep that in mind as well. All right, and there we go. Not too bad. Most in-game players will be able to do this on top 20 or even top 24. There's a lot of people stronger than me. But we got our one clear, and now we get to receive all the rewards from every floor below it just for that one clear. So don't even have to bother with the rest of the battles. And once you can clear 24, you don't have to bother with anything else. One clear of floor 24 a week, and you've completed Tower of Toxicity. That's all you need to do. Eventually, you won't even really need to, because now I'm overcapped on Mark of Supremacy with nobody left to build on the account that I need. And I haven't had a new emblem to level with Shining Stone in a good long while, so... But hopefully for you, you get to farm this regularly and make sure you don't hit any of those resource droughts. Now let's cover Pugilus Peak. I've talked about this mode briefly when it first came out, and I've just got to say, it's not very engaging, and I'm a little disappointed with it. All you do is you come in, and there will be a rotating connect boss battle. In this mode, only one party hero's damage will actually count. This time it's the 5th hero, so only the damage of my P-Ama actually counts. Otherwise, this is a weekly reset with a quick in and out. Come get a very small trickling of diamonds. I think I got about 100 for this score. It's once a week. It took 3 minutes. Not a big deal. I wish it was a little bit different, but not quite sure what they would do with it. It doesn't seem like a fully fleshed out content yet, and it's not a very important PvE mode aside from a very small diamond income. Finally, there's Labyrinth of Affinity. This is Valkyrie's attempt at Honkai's simulated universe, and it did not really go very well. Once again, this mode is not that engaging. In this mode, you will pick one hero on your account. You will send them through a series of battles, and they will gain skills and equipment for each battle. It starts off simple, as one auto defeats the first elite boss, but it quickly gets out of control if you don't know what you're doing. There will be bosses that require you to have certain passives or immunities that otherwise you will be walled on. The one thing I do enjoy about this mode is getting to see all the different passives and reading through them. Because honestly, there's some hidden gems in here that if you don't have the hero and don't know about it, you wouldn't even know some of these effects even exist in the game. Same thing with the gears. I'll come through here and see some gears that I barely remember at all, like this thing. What is this from? I don't know. But anyway, this mode goes to 30 floors, and by the time you get to the 15th floor, things are difficult if you don't have the proper passives or a strong hero. Sadly, there's just not much incentive to do this mode. Sadly, this diamond is about the only reason to do this at all. And getting to the 30th floor with these 3 starter heroes is insanely difficult. 300 diamonds is not a worthy reward. However, this mode's been out for quite a while, and you can see I haven't even bothered to get the 1100 diamonds. 1100 diamonds is a third of a 10x pull. I will not be spending my time clicking through this, managing all that. If you find this mode more engaging than me, have at it, but I wouldn't put too much of your time into this. Your time is more valuable elsewhere. Well, that covers the quest button and all PvE modes of Valkyrie Connect outside of events. If you have any questions about the things covered in this video, please feel free to comment and ask. I will be elaborating on a lot of these modes in a specific video in the future, especially PvP and Heroic Wanderer. There's a lot more information that goes into there that people need to know. Also, feel free to join my Discord if you'd like to come hang out or ask questions there. I'm active on Discord every day. And with all that said, until next time, everybody, Foots out. Cheers.